Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Labor Day. And we are approaching the biggest portion of the 2025 New York Yankees schedule. Yesterday on the show, I thought TK put it nice and succinctly. He said that the next 12 games are the season. And essentially, I think he's correct. The Yankees are not in a great position at 3 games out, but it could be a lot worse. They could be 7 or 8, given how they played most of the summer. But if they were at that point, there'd be little to no hope whatsoever at winning the division. But right now, if you play well, you got a real shot at winning the American League East. The fact that they are only 3 games out adds just enough of a chance that there could be some real drama this month if the Yankees manage to play decent baseball for a change. It is no secret that they are at their best when they're hitting home runs. I do not count on them trying to learn how to play baseball over the next 24 hours. I think that they're going into this 12-game stretch saying, let's hit 20 to 30 home runs in these next 12 games. I guess we'll find out soon if that's a great strategy or not. I don't think it's a great strategy, but we look at the state of the team here on September 1st. OPS leaders, you got Judge at 1.117. He tops the team. Stanton in there at 999. Bellinger, 837. Grisham, 832. Chisholm, 825. And Rice, 827. That's everybody who's over 800. And really, you got to have all those guys in the lineup every day over this stretch if you can. And that means you're going to lose some time for Dominguez probably, but it is what it is. Home run leaders, Judge, 43. And then you got really 3 guys who have a really good chance at getting to 30. Grisham, Chisholm, and Bellinger. Grisham has 28. Chisholm has 26. Bellinger has 26. And then Rice has 22. He'll probably get to 25 plus, maybe 27. Don't think he's going to get to 30 unless he has a huge month. He would need 8, obviously. And the season is over on September 28th. Rotation has been relatively strong recently. Fried pitching much better after a midsummer slump. He's got a 3.06 ERA. Rodon, 3.18. Heel, 3.68 since coming back. Cam Schlittler, who I'll spotlight in just a little bit, is at 2.61. And Will Warren at 4.30. Overall, they have a 3.92 team ERA. They are 76 and 61. Second place in the American League East. They have scored 719 runs and allowed 585 runs so far. I think Judge is definitely heating up. We'll talk more about that in just a second. That's a good sign. Toronto has shown, though, that they'll just walk him for an entire series if it comes down to it, right? So it's important for the guys around him to get on base, to get hits, to do some damage. If there's going to be runners on first and second for Judge, it's going to be really, really difficult to walk him. You got either Bellinger or Giancarlo protecting Judge, right? You got Grisham or Ben Rice ahead of him. And those guys, they'll take their walks. And if you throw it over the plate, they got a good chance to do some damage. So I like the way the top of the lineup is swinging the bat right now. Everybody seems mostly healthy. Judge is the least healthy of the bunch, but he's on his way back. Home runs in back-to-back games. Ben Rice, I like him in the number 2 spot right now, hitting ahead of Judge. You got to give him pitches to hit. And over the last month, he has really stepped it up, hitting 272 with 7 home runs in the past 30 games. Giancarlo Stanton got robbed of home run number 18 yesterday. That would have made it a very different game. But he's also hitting 294. Only 2 Yankees regulars hitting over 280 at the moment. Judge is hitting 324. Stanton at 294. We need Jazz to get hot again. When he's hitting, it changes the entire lineup because, if he's hitting singles, he might as well be hitting doubles. He's going to take second. He might even take third. And when he's hitting homers, he tends to hit them in bunches. So if we get him swinging the bat better, he can go a long way towards the Yankees doing some damage here down the stretch. And, he's trying to get to 30-30, so he's motivated, right? That will change his payday significantly if he gets to 30-30. Mary Beth says the stats are just the stats. The team needs to play with heart and emotion. 100% right.
It's all right there in front of us.
We've seen Volpe kind of get going a little bit against the White Sox. Now, maybe that was just the White Sox pitching, but he's my pick to come up big in the Astros series. I think he's starting to put it together a little bit, and when he hits home runs, he definitely hits them in bunches, and I think there's a few more home runs in there. Again, he's not a guy who's going to hit 300 this year. He's hitting 210 right now. So is Austin Wells. At this point, don't try and be Wade Boggs or Tony Gwynn, right? It's not going to happen. Just try and do as much damage as you can. This whole season, we've been fed the line, it's right in front of us. Well, today is the last day that it is right in front of us. Starting tomorrow, it's not in front of you anymore. It's here. These next 12 games are what separates the men from the boys. September baseball against Houston, Toronto, Boston, and Detroit. Contenders. This is where they're going to find out who they really are. If you're the Yankees, this is when all those little cliches get exposed, right? All the talk about passing the baton and putting the ball in play and playing the game the right way. You're either going to do it or not. You know? Sounds great at the press conference, but just show me that you can move runners, that you can get runners in. If you got to hit home runs to win, then you better hit home runs. But I don't want to see them getting 3 hits in a game and losing 5-1 or 8-1, right? I want to see them be competitive over these next 12 games. And this team has the talent. You know, you got Judge rounding back into MVP form. Stanton is crushing the baseball. Bellinger looks good. Rice and Grisham have been stepping up. We got some guys that are showing some really positive signs going into this gauntlet. And if you want to call yourself a contender, you know, you want to say the division is still possible, fine, prove it. Prove it. Because after today, there's no more right there in front of us speeches. We're looking ahead at the toughest 2 weeks of the season. So buckle up. But we have had a lot of negativity this year. I thought it would be good to take a look at some of the positives. Aaron Judge, last 5 games, .389 average, 3 home runs, 8 runs scored. Trent Grisham, last 10 games, has 5 home runs, got 9 RBIs, 8 runs scored. Chisholm has a real chance to get to 30-30. He's got 26 home runs, he's got 25 stolen bases. He's got 4 home runs in the last 10 games, so maybe heating up a little bit. And Stanton has been completely nuclear. Just 55 games played. He's got, I have him at 299. He's actually 294 with a 999 OPS and 17 home runs, 46 ribbies. Just killing the baseball. Yankees have won 14 out of their last 19 games. They closed out August really well, despite that loss in the final game. You know, they played really well. And Trent Grisham has quietly emerged as an elite fastball hitter. His StatCast run value against four-seamers is +16. That matches Judge. He's got 28 home runs, got an .833 OPS. He's having a career year. Probably going to get to 30 home runs. Might get there by the end of the week. And he's one of these slow heartbeat guys, right? I mean, you can tell by the way he plays center field. Not a moment's stress. So he is a pick to come up big in these clutch situations. And he's had some big clutch hits this year, right? And Jazz, he gets to 30-30. You got to wonder, will the Yankees hand out an extension? Would he even sign an extension, or would he want to test free agency and maybe get more? But there's no question that offensively he has had a really good year, especially after that tough start. He's had a couple of little slumps, but he's had a very valuable year. And then, you know, Giancarlo Stanton with 17 home runs in 173 at-bats. That's a home run basically every 10 at-bats. Okay? And he's as clutch as it gets. So let's say over these next 12 games, you get to play him in 10 of them. You know, you really start to ease him back in there. And maybe Judge plays the outfield a little bit. And that allows you to put Stanton in at the DH spot and really get him in there against Houston and Toronto and so forth. You got to figure he's going to come up big a few times. But right now, we're looking at some exciting baseball over the next couple of weeks. Let's talk a little bit about Cam Schlittler, who I think is a future ace. I cannot get enough of watching this guy. Every year, there are different things that stand out, right? No matter how the season stands out or turns out, different things stand out. And I'm going to remember this as the year Cam Schlittler emerged. It's no guarantee that he's going to be a stud. It's no guarantee that he's going to have a long, healthy career. Injuries happen, players regress, and so forth. But when evaluating a pitcher, I look at the raw stuff, obviously, but I also look at the makeup, the body language on the mound, how hitters react, how the pitcher reacts in tough situations, and, how they make adjustments. Do they learn to pitch at the big league level? And so far, he has been tremendous. 2-2 record, 2.61 ERA, 9 games started, 48 1/3 innings, 54 strikeouts, 20 walks, 6 home runs allowed. The walks are probably too high for 48 innings pitched, but he struggled with command early on. Opponents hitting just .226 against him. His ground out to air out ratio 0.77. That's good. 1.24 whip. So that continues to fall with each successive fantastic outing. Look at the fastball run value. It's in the top quarter of the league. The velo's over 97 miles an hour. It's in the top 5% of the league. I mean, he's league average in a few things like hard hit percentage, ground ball percentage. The one thing that surprised me, he's actually below average in extension, which being a 6'6" guy, you would figure that his extension would be elite, but it's not. And I don't know what that tells me. Is there room to get him even more velocity and make it even more difficult on hitters by getting his extension a little bit higher? Or does he even need it, right? David Robertson was a guy who had he was a short guy, but his stride was so long that it made him release the ball like closer to home plate, and that gave him a little bit of extra life on his fastball, right? Give hitters a little bit of extra or a little less time to react. And you look at the breaking stuff. So he throws the four-seamer, but he's also got a cutter, a curve, a sinker, and a sweeper. The curve has more break than pretty much any other curveball. It's look how you can see the vertical break here. It is fantastic. And for a guy who's so tall, it's basically a nose-to-toes curveball, right? I mean, excellent stuff. Love the makeup. Love the attitude on the mound. Like that he's going deeper into games. To me, I think he's a future ace. The stuff is electric. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And never seems like he's scared out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in some of these big starts here down the stretch. We're going to find out what kind of pitcher he is. Okay, so quick word from DraftKings, and we'll be back. We got 4 or 5 voicemails to get to. I'll be back in 60 seconds. Game on! Week 1 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football, it's first touchdown fireworks, anytime TD rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
It's just a reaction.
Okay, so we've got some predictions here for how we'll do over this 12-game stretch. I'll get to you guys first, and then I'll give my predictions. So Nicholas says 8-4. I'll take that. Lori C says, I think we go 6-6. Here's Chain.
Hey, Derek Chain. I just wanted to get my prediction in for the next 12 games. The Yanks will go 4-8. Talk to you later, my friend. Bye.
I hope they do better than that. Here's another one.
Hey, Derek. Well, the next 12 games is basically our season. So I have a question. Do you see the Yankees winning more than 7 games in the next 12? Do you think we could take 3 series from Astros, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Detroit? What do you think?
my prediction for the next 12 games is not an exciting one. It's not going to get you amped up, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to say 6-6. I think they play 500 ball. And then I think they're still facing probably a 3-game, maybe a 4-game or 2-game deficit in the East with, the final 13 games on the schedule. But the good news is they should be able to really clean up during those final games. Baltimore's not good. We own Minnesota. We just saw what the Yankees did against the White Sox, and we'll be at home this time. And, we got 6 games against Baltimore. So it would be nice to be within striking distance or leading heading into that stretch. And then, presuming you make the playoffs, which I think the Yankees will, you get a couple of days off, and then you got to play against a real team after playing nothing but shit teams for a couple of weeks, right? And having to win. Not going to be easy.
Yeah, hi Derek. Steve calling from Maine. How do the Yankees let Kiner Falefa go to the Blue Jays? The papers incorrectly reported that the Blue Jays had priority because of the one-loss record, but that's incorrect. The Yankees had first crack at him. Years ago, the Yankees even picked up Jose Canseco, well, they weren't even going to use him just to keep him away from the Red Sox. They should have they should have obtained Kiner Falefa just to keep him away from the Blue Jays. Not that he's...
All right, I'm going to stop you there. If the Yankees got Kiner Falefa, they would have had to get rid of somebody from the roster, and I don't think that they want to do that. I think they like who they have on their 40-man roster right now. And today being September 1st, you can add a couple of players. They added J.C. Escarra back to the roster, and they welcomed back Ryan Yarbrough, who threw the ball really, really well for the Yankees as a starter. He's going to be going to the bullpen. I like that because he can eat up innings. He's one of those guys you can bring in a tie game. You can bring in with a lead. You can bring in as like a guy to mop up for a while because he can throw multiple innings. But I really like Ryan Yarbrough. And if you need somebody to make a spot start, he's already proven he can be effective in that role. Final voicemail of the day.
Hey, Derek, great show. And too bad the Yankee streak came to an end, but everywhere you look, you find where Aaron Boone has faults in the game, big or little. Tim Hill versus a righty, a free swinging righty, and he is not doing well against righties. These things were just Boone just sucks.
Tell us how you really feel. But I gotta cut that clip there where he just goes, Boone sucks. That would be a great little sound drop for the future. I'm sure we're going to need it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the fun begins tomorrow in Houston, and I am really looking forward to it. We're going to have Jonna from Babes Media tomorrow, and then we're going to have Frankie Baseball on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we're going to have Mr. Eric Kratz, and then Friday, kicking off the Toronto series, to be determined, and then you'll see about Saturday. Saturday probably just me, and then Sunday we'll have TK. So we're gonna have some people on for these next couple of series just to have some fun. Then it'll probably be just me against Detroit. But yeah, look forward to just the vibes being great, the energy being high. Let's root for our guys. Let's try not to be too negative over these next couple of weeks. Let's try and really support our team, and we'll see you then. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.